Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, hello, welcome. This is Essential Patience and I Am Patience, and it's the beginning of a new year. We are entering into 2025 and this will be my last video of the year 2024, and as a way to prepare for the new year, we do have to consider our finances and what we can do to set ourselves up for a successful year. So as always, I'm going to bring you the changes for three major accounts that I always talk about. One is going to be an HSA, two, the Roth IRA, and of course, a 401k. We're going to talk about my investment strategy as well as strategies that you can use to invest and continually invest into the markets for a great financial future. And if you're a brand new watcher, this is a channel where we talk about society's impacts on our lives, our finances, and how we can take back that power to make more intentional decisions, to live a more intentional life, and get to the financial success that we desire. So if that sounds good to you, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and ring the notification bell so you do not miss out on any of my future video. We are starting out the year strong, so let's continue to stay on the path towards financial success to make 2025 a successful year for us financially. 2024 had been a great year for me actually with these accounts. I met my goals that I wanted to contribute. My strategy for 2025 is going to be quite similar, but I'm still looking at different ways that I can optimize it depending on what my financial goals complete picture would look like. But these are some key ways to make sure that you're staying up to date with what is changing with the IRS and making the most out of these contributions. So let's get straight into it, starting with the HSA. So the HSA is a health savings account. It was established in the year 2003, and it's an account that you can contribute to pre-taxes. After $1,000, you can start investing, and as long as you use this money on medical expenses, you do not have to pay any taxes on it. So it's a triple tax benefit, and I have an entire video just dedicated to the HSA. It was a few years ago, but I'm still sure you can find it on my channel. It's called the triple tax benefits of HSA, and in this, because you contribute to it pre-tax, once it reaches over $1,000, you can start investing the excess, and that is tax-free as well. And as long as you use your medical expenses, you would never have to pay taxes on it. And it also decreases your taxable income. That's actually the first one. So let's say you're making $70,000 a year, and then you contribute $4,000. You would not have to pay taxes on those $4,000. So make it look like you're making $4,000 less than you actually making. And that is such a great tax benefit, especially for your federal taxes. So take advantage of it. And for the year 2025, we are going to see a slight increase. Because in 2024, if you're an individual, which means that you're not married, you don't have any kids, you have an individual HSA for just yourself, you could only contribute up to $4,150. And for the year 2025, you're going to be able to contribute up to $4,300. That is a $150 increase. And typically these accounts, they either don't increase on a year-to-year basis, or they increase in small increments. This is actually a smaller increase than we saw last year, but that's okay because you still get to take advantage of it. There was also an increase for families. So for the 2024 tax year, you could contribute $8,300 if you're a family, and now you can contribute up to $8,550, a $250 increase. So to max it out, you should be contributing $348.33 per month to your HSA. And if you're a family, you should be contributing $712.50. Now this changes if you get paid bi-weekly, monthly, or weekly basis. And do remember that this is for high deductible health plan. And if you do have a high deductible health plan, you can contribute to the HSA. Also look into your job if they are contributing to your HSA. So let's say that you're an individual, out of $4,300, your job decides to give you $300 to contribute. Make sure that you're only contributing $4,000 because the IRS will come after you if you go over. So let's say you do $4,300 and your job adds an additional $300. It is showing that you have exceeded it. So you will have to take out the money and pay taxes on that extra $300. So whatever contributions that you make sure to take out whatever your job is going to add, and then the remainder is what you're going to schedule your contributions on. You can make these contributions contributions from January 2025 to December 2025. However, the contributions stop the last 2 weeks of December. So if December is a 4-week month, you can contribute up to the first 2 weeks of December. If it's a 5-week month, you're going to contribute only the first 3. After that, the contributions end. And remember that one of the best things is that most of us are going to have medical expenses anyway, not just currently, but in the future. If we have the privilege of growing old, most older people would need some sort of medical expenses. And if you happen not to use this for medical expenses, you will have to just pay the taxes on it, but at least plan for the future. You may not need it now, but you can always save this money, grow this money into 5-6 figures worth of money and save it for your medical expenses. Use it for your children, use it for different things that you will need in the future. And even currently, you can use it for co-pays, you can use it when you go to the dentist, eye doctor. There's so many uses for the HSA. So take advantage of it because it's there for you. My strategy for the year 2025 is to max out my HSA. So I've already maxed it out in the past 2 years, and then in my first year of working, I contributed just as much as I could, and I've seen it not only grow through my investments, but I've seen how much it's helped me through medical expenses that I had to get throughout the year, especially in the year 2024. So I will be continuing to contribute and maxing it out and investing anything over $2,000 because I've just learned to keep more cash in there because of unforeseen medical expenses. So even though I can invest anything over $1,000, because now I've built in a big amount of investment, I'm trying to keep in about $2,000 worth of cash because medical expenses can be on the bigger side. So moving on to the next account is the IRA, or my favorite, which is the Roth IRA. So you can contribute to a regular IRA, which is a traditional pre-tax contributions, but I personally love the Roth IRA, so that's the one we're going to talk about. So with the Roth IRA, you are contributing money for retirement, and as long as you keep this money invested at the age of 59.5, you'll be able to access this money tax-free. So you will not have to pay any taxes on the growth and the interest that you earn, which in the long run is going to be over $1 million if you invest right. Are using post-tax money a great way to reduce your tax burdens in the future, because whether you're making a lot of money now or later, it is generally known that most people would retire in a higher tax bracket than they are currently, at least by the time that they're ready to retire. So you don't want to have so much taxes, and this is a good way of balancing it out. So with the HSA, that you will never have to pay taxes on the money because of the triple tax benefits if you use your medical expenses. For the money you need to actually live on, part of it can come from your Roth IRA, and you can withdraw this tax-free. If you do opt for the traditional IRA, you will have to pay taxes on that money when you are ready to withdraw it. The traditional IRA was established in 1974, and the Roth IRA was established in 1997. And the limit for 2025 will be $7,000, which was also what it was for 2024, which was a $500 increase from 2023, which was $6,500. So it'll probably be here for about a year or two. Maybe you'll increase for 2026, maybe not, but still, this is such an amazing increase from when it used to be like $2,000. So continue to contribute and max it out, because that money that you put in today, if invested, can compound into millions of dollars that you will be having tax-free. To max it out by December 2025, you should be contributing $583.33 for all 12 months. Or you can just round it up at the beginning or in the end. But the great thing about the Roth IRA is not just about the calendar year that you can contribute to, but you can actually contribute up to the end of that tax year, which means that your contribution window is not just from January to December, but rather January 2025 till April of 2026 to max out your Roth IRA for the 2025 tax year. So if you currently cannot do the $583 per month, you can contribute $437.50 for 16 months and be able to max it out, still taking advantage of the entire limit. My strategy for 2025 is to continue contributing and investing in my Roth IRA. I just don't let the money sit there. I always invest the money basically immediately. Once it hits the account, I'm investing in index funds. Now, whether I will max out for the rest of the year or let it linger to 2026, it still depends on what the rest of my financial goals are for the year, which I'm now drawing up. But no matter what, I will be maxing it out at least by April 2026. That's what happened to me this year. Last year, because I was paying off my car, I did not contribute to my Roth IRA. All my money went into paying off my car because I did not want to pay that interest, and just because I was on a roll. And I did finish paying off my car by September of that year, but I just had so much going on, and towards the end of the year I was only able to contribute about $2,000 to my Roth IRA. But no worries, I still went with vengeance, and between January of this year till April of this year, I was able to contribute the rest of the $4,500 to max it out, because I wanted to make sure that I'm still investing in my future before I went on to max it out for the 2024 tax year. So you can do it. It takes sacrifice, it takes focus, but if that's your goal, it is achievable. You may have to alter things here and there, but it can be done. Now, the last but absolutely not the least is the 401k. 401k is an individual retirement account that you typically get through your job. Unlike the Roth IRA that you open by yourself, no matter if you have an employer or not. And I opened mine with Fidelity, so if you want to know, I do have an entire video on this, whether you go to my top 6 accounts or my Roth IRA video. There's so much that you can learn about it. But the 401k is a very important part, especially if you decide to do the traditional or even the Roth. The traditional 401k, just like the HSA, would reduce your tax burden. So let's say, for example, you are earning $70,000 a year and you decide to invest about $10,000 of that between your HSA and your 401k. Well, now it looks like you are making $60,000. So you would not be taxed on $70,000 gross. You'd be taxed federally on $60,000 gross. And that's an amazing thing, especially if you don't have any other assets that can reduce your taxes. This is a great way of reducing your taxes. Unlike the HSA, the 401k, if you do opt for traditional, you do have to pay the taxes in the future, but it's also a good way of balancing out your portfolio. So you have one that you pay the taxes now, which is the Roth IRA. You have another one that you will never have to pay taxes, which is the HSA. And then you have one last one, which you will pay the taxes in the future, which is the 401k. So if taxes go up in the future, hopefully you'll be withdrawing from your Roth IRA, and if a president comes in and reduces taxes, you can withdraw from your 401k. It's like having a complete balanced portfolio. The traditional 401k was established in 1978, and the Roth 401k was actually quite recent, 2006, when it was established. And out of all the accounts that we are discussing today, this one has the highest limit. The limit for 2024 was $23,000, and now we're going to see a $500 increase to $23,500. Now, are most people maxing it out at that amount? No. Very few amounts of people have the ability to max out their 401k every single year, Roth or traditional. But even with this $500 increase, even if it doesn't change your contribution, what it can do is just motivate you to contribute up to your employer match. I always say that if you cannot contribute to the max, do up to your employer match, because that's a 100% return on your money. For example, you are making $70,000. Your employer has a 5% match on your base salary, meaning that if you contribute $3,500, they will give you another $3,500. Well, contribute $3,500 and get that money. That's 100% return on your money instantly. Now, some are vested immediately, some will be vested throughout the years. Just make sure that you're contributing that money in there to get all that you can. I, for one, is for never leaving money on the table. Another great thing about 401k is that if you're older and you have not contributed as much, but you still want to be able to contribute even more money, because a lot of people make the most amount of salaries after their 40s. If you're over the age of 50, you are able to contribute way more than people under the age of 50. The catch-up contribution for 2025 will be $7,500, which is the same as what it was in 2024, but a $1,000 increase from what it was back in 2023, when it was $6,500. So how much do you have to contribute if you want to max out your 401k in 12 months? Well, the answer is $1,958.33. And these contributions should be made from January 2025 through the end of December 2025. Now, if you're over the age of 50, you can contribute $2,583.33 from January to December of 2025 to max out your 401k at $31,000. What is my strategy for 2025? Well, it's to contribute at least to my employer match. Now, whether I'll do more than that, I am not sure, but in 2024, I only did my employer match, which was down from 2023 when I did way more, as well as back when I started my job. At one point, I was contributing like 25% of my salary, but times have changed and I have other needs and other savings that I'm doing outside of retirement. I'm only 24 years old, so I do have more time and I have hit some goals that makes me very comfortable in my retirement, and because of that, I feel comfortable only doing up to my employer match. Now granted, it's a pretty decent amount, but I feel comfortable setting it here and focusing more on some after-tax savings, which is my goal for 2025. But now that you know this, be sure to create a budget for the year 2025, set some financial goals, and put yourself on a path of financial success for the year, because this year will go by faster than you even think it will. And I've also put some resources, including the IRS page, in the description to help with any further information. And let me know any questions that you have down below. I am here to listen and I'm here to help. So with that being said, I'm bringing this video to an end. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and share this video with people in your family, friends that you know it will be helpful towards. With the true life expectancy of Americans being about 77 years old, most of us hopefully would retire and enjoy our old age. And because of that, it's important that we set ourselves on a pathway. Even if we work when we are older, it's because we choose to, not because we have to. So these steps that we take at this age, no matter which age that you are, is very important. So please share this video and let me know in the comment section of anything I can help you with. So thank you all again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.